Welcome back. 7:15 here is Take a Live Look. Hard to see there, bright light there. The Mass Pike in Natick. Some people have made their way out this morning, braving the roads. You can see the conditions are slowly deteriorating, and you definitely will have a rough ride in if you do have to make your way to work today. Yeah, this is really just starting to ramp up now, Danielle, and we're talking about an all-day event here and up to 2 feet of snow in spots.
Yeah, southeastern Massachusetts is going to be the jackpot, Chris and Kate, from this snowstorm. Top March snowstorms in Boston. Back in 1960, we had a 19.7-inch snowstorm. We're going to hit the #2 spot, likely in Boston today. #1 slot is not out of the realm of possibility here. You know, there's a lot of foot-plus snowstorms back in 1891, 56. Back in 2013, you remember on March 8th, we had over a foot of snowfall, and back in 93 as well. So this is one for the record books here that will go down in history as one of the top March snowstorms for the city of Boston, where the temperature has dropped a degree now, 33 for the city, 29 in Worcester. Heaviest band of snow right now is focused south of Boston. This is where we've seen 1 to 2 inches per hour in this snow band that you can see kind of circled here, all the way from Plymouth Bay, stretching back west down towards Narragansett Bay as well. And we're still talking about half-mile to a quarter-mile visibility on Cape Cod in spots too. That extends back up into Boston, gets a little bit lighter, but it's snowing region-wide here. The conditions on the roads will continue to deteriorate over the course of morning as we're just kind of getting into the heart of some of the height and peak of this storm that will continue to rotate those bands of heavy snowfall into eastern Massachusetts. Half-a-mile visibility in Plymouth right now, quarter of a mile in Marshfield with heavy snow, same in Hyannis right now. So blizzard conditions to verify, we have to have considerable blowing and drifting snow and quarter-mile visibility or less for 3 consecutive hours or more. Watching Hyannis to see if that will verify here over the course of morning. Hour by hour, we have had some reports of mixing and kind of flip-flopping with some rain right at the immediate coastline of Plymouth County back down to the Cape. We will be all snow by later on this morning, and notice the deeper blues here in eastern Massachusetts. Then we may actually get a little bit of a lull, so to speak, in central Mass, or just right around 495 before another band picks up in the central part of the state. Notice right on through the evening, still dealing with moderate to heavy bands. 5 to 7 p.m., intensity of the snow lets up a bit. The heavy snow at that point will be across Maine. 7 to 9 p.m., it will be letting up in intensity and coverage as well. I do still anticipate some snow to continue through the overnight tonight. It will gradually taper off from south to north. Tomorrow morning's commute will probably still feature some areas of snow from the Merrimack Valley back into northern Essex County. And then with the strong wind out of the west tomorrow, we get a little bit of what's called upslope snow, some snow showers in the Worcester Hills with the hilly terrain back into western New Hampshire tomorrow morning to midday. Hour by hour, let's talk about accumulation here. Most of us already have 1 to 2 inches on the ground. By late morning, we're approaching 6, 7, 8 inches south of town with these heaviest bands of snow that continue. By midday and early afternoon, a lot of us 6 to 12. And then by late afternoon and evening, many of us topping out over a foot from Boston back down to the Cape, with over a foot from Worcester to Manchester through the evening hours. So many of us are going to end up between about the 12 and 18-inch mark, with, again, the highest totals focused in southeastern Massachusetts, Barry, where some of those heaviest bands of snow and localized bands set up through the day today.
Yeah, it's interesting that Denise down there is just reporting it's still a mix of rain and snow for our WBZ weather watcher down there in Plymouth. But this is what we've had for snow so far. Let's take a look. And it looks like this. 2 inches in Boston around 7 o'clock. We're looking about 5 inches around 10 o'clock. Prediction is around 9 or 10 inches about 1 o'clock in Boston, 5 o'clock, all the way up to around 15 inches, and about 10 o'clock, about 17 inches. The biggest snowfall we've had so far this season in Boston was the storm we had back on January 4th, when we got 13.4 inches out of that blizzard. And since then, we haven't had any big snowstorms. The last storm, we got 6.4 inches, so this one is certainly going to be way over double that and beyond the 13.4 that we had back on January 4th. So with the pasty wet snow, which is anticipated to continue over southeastern Massachusetts, and with some of the heaviest snow, the greatest amount of snow falling down here, and with all the wind, it all adds up to a potential for some power outages, and it could be rather widespread in this zone down here, although the snow will be turning a little drier this afternoon, and certainly turning drier with time this morning in areas farther north and west of Boston, which would cut down the chance of any power outages. So just perhaps isolated ones here, and then rather widespread outages possible down here in southeastern Massachusetts, so that's where you want to be prepared the most, down there with these winds, which have been gusting up to 60 miles per hour. So at Nantucket, several gusts past 60 there, and other exposed coastal locations have been gusting to 50 miles an hour. Still windy inland, and over some of the hilltops we've had some gusts up to 45 miles an hour, so that will continue into the afternoon hours. Some gusts here approaching 70 at Nantucket, closer to the storm center, and then slowly winding down after that. So that's certainly going to cause problems and continue to build the seas. We're looking at 15 to 17-foot seas already. Those have built up quite a bit from what they were just a couple to 3 hours ago. So again, we have more wave battery on the ocean, on the coastline, and more beach erosion, and particularly so on the South Shore and over most of the Cape and the Islands, where most of the coastal flooding will be occurring today. It will be more of a minor event with pockets of moderate coastal flooding down here, with projected tides being around 12 feet. So it looks like more damage on the coast is possible, especially down in these locations. That's it for now. Let's see what's going on. Do we have any chance of having some nice weather coming up, Danielle?
Well,
is there going to be a nice weekend?
It looks like the weekend, Barry, is going to feature sunshine. A little bit chilly, I think, 7-day forecast by March standards here, with temperatures in the 30s today. Tomorrow, low 40s on Thursday. Still a chilly breeze. The wind chill will be in the 30s. Friday, flurry possible. Cold end to the week. Cold St. Patty's Day. We're going to be in the 20s in the morning, upper 30s by Saturday afternoon. Mid 40s, a bit of a rebound on Sunday. The weekend does look dry, though, and upper 30s to start next week as well. Chance of another storm later Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, you guys, but we'll take it one storm at a time.
Yes, please.